Congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Firstly, let's talk about how it was trying to get that fantastically dysfunctional chemistry right between yourself and Nicole.
I mean, that's Susanne. She set the tone early on. Very dark, very funny, very inappropriate. And we kind of took it from there. There was a lot of improvising. I think improvising is one of those situations that brings you close quickly. And there's two ways people can go with it. They can either kind of run and gun for themselves, or they can open up and make room for each other. And this was a group of actors who really made room for each other. And when that happens, it usually goes well.
And off screen, I gather being together as a group was fantastic, and you had a lot of fun. But then to bring that on screen as a very large and very toxic ensemble, how do you make that switch so quickly? And how much fun is it to work with an ensemble cast like this?
It's amazingly fun. You just rely on a really, really good editor. It's like, one day all of the footage will come out. Hopefully that day will come after we've all passed away. But there's some extraordinary material in the can.
And filming in those wonderful locations as well. What's it like being part of the world of the rich and the shameless just for a little while and poking a few holes in it?
Oh, it's really fun. It's really fun. Because of course you get to be rich and shameless for a little while. But I thought it's a very timely and a very funny story. To me, I don't know, it's not that funny, it's a murder mystery, but I find it funny. Just this idea of entitled people, American aristocracy. We've all become so obsessed with money and celebrity and, superficial things. And nice little black comedy about rich people. It's good.
Fantastic. And just lastly, obviously you've done a lot of producing yourself. Is this the kind of thing that you would like to have produced, or were you just happy to be in front of the camera for?
Absolutely. It's the right. And I wasn't sure in the beginning. I was really nervous about it. But after talking to Susanne and working with this cast, I was like, oh, this could be special. It could be, when you get inside something and you do it with humor and it also has this emotional infrastructure that's important. And there's something important about that idea that we're all obsessed with. I think there's a reason why we love these kinds of shows, because we know in our guts there's something wrong with it. We know in our guts it can't be true. We know in our guts there's nothing perfect. And so these stories are like cautionary tales.
Well, congratulations on the show again. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!